In today's video, I'll be discussing how to build hyperoffense, also known as HO in Uber's UU. This is a decently hefty task, so to do this, I am joined by professional button clicker Shadow079.
Hi, I'm Mr. Button Clicker himself, Shadow, the self-proclaimed HO guy of Uber's UU, which is why I'm joining Ocean in this video today to talk about his place in the meta of Uber's UU. Now, what is HO? HO is a style that aims to maintain momentum through constantly throwing setup threats at the opponent, and never giving them the opportunity to stabilize due to said constant threats. The playstyle capitalizes on this lack of stability by trying to overwhelm the opponent until the threat is able to sleep and win the game. In an Uber's UU context, this means the likes of Source Sensation, Carmine, Trapagos, and other setup threats such as Roaring Moon, Arceus, or Chimpao. However, as strong as these threats are, these Pokemon will need help becoming threats in the first place. Whether that's getting the enemy chips to better allow for a sleep, or having better conditions to safer setup. There is one role that can help with this, a role that is mandatory on any HO team: the lead.
The lead is a self-explanatory role. It's whatever mon you lead off with. There are two types of viable HO, standard and screens. Standard HO is where your lead aims to set up as much as possible before fainting. You are putting yourself in a 5v6 situation, but now you have the hazard advantage. The best and defining HO lead at the moment is Deoxys Speed. Deoxys is the quintessential hazard lead. It is the second fastest Pokemon in tier, only behind Regieleki. However, Regieleki lacks taunt, meaning that Deoxys is the fastest taunter in the game, which is useful to stop enemy set moves or other hazards. Access to spikes, self rock, or even both means it's a very good HO lead. For the last slot, it most commonly opts in for Psycho Boost, which is a high power move and is great versus Palafin Baby since it usually one-shots it. Sticky Web is a very niche style which aims to set up literally only Sticky Web, and anything else is a bonus from the setter. Even though it's very niche, it should still be top here. Galvantula and Araquanid are the two main setters, sorry Cutify. The choice between these two isn't very easy. Galvantula is very fast, has Volt Switch, and has a never missing T-Wave thanks to its ability. However, Araquanid is much bulkier, meaning it doesn't necessarily need the Focus Sash, and instead can opt in for a Mental Herb to guarantee webs. A recent tech was found that if you use Water Absorb, you could punish banded Palafins from trying to use Flip Turn, and use Infestation, which takes down Palafin in the long run. A niche inside of a niche, but still workable. Screens HO aims to set up screens which can help your team to set up since they overall will be taking less overall damage. And what is the best screen setter? Deoxys Speed! I don't know why, I don't think I need to go over why, but there's another screen setter that is usable. Regieleki offers not only the fastest screens, but also Volt Switch to deny any Pokemon trying to set up hazards and lead. And Volt Switch or Explosion, depending on personal preference, as both provide momentum HO wants. Screens HO is a bit harder to work around because you need both screens, but the reward is worth it as long as you don't fight Urshifu. Fishy. Cyclizar technically doesn't fit here, but it definitely supports its team like the other leads. At the time of this video, Cyclizar has taken over the ladder because of its access to Shed Tail, which allows it to pass a substitute to its teammates, which is very strong. It is also a decent rapid spinner, and with extra utility in knockoff or taunt, it's a very good HO enabler as well.
What good is a HO team without abusers? The abuser is your main win condition that HO centers around. Using the advantage your lead introduced into the game, depending on the style of HO you picked, you'll bring in an abuser to, as the name suggests, abuse that lead, putting you ahead in terms of momentum. One of the most obvious abusers is Zacian, who has good bulk, good speed, and access to Swords Dance. It can easily boost up and start sweeping. Another obvious choice is Arceus. There are many sets, but to be honest, all of them work. Swords Dance Extreme Speed is a good set, but the main problem is that it needs to be easier to pick off healthy targets. Hazards fix that, and if you have screens, it makes it set up easier. Dragon Dance's Arceus is good despite lacking the immediate power of Swords Dance. This is because the sword speed boosts allow you to use any move at once versus would be faster threats, unlike Swords Dance which is aid speed for faster threats. Harmine is another great option as it's a standard set for many Arceus forms. Roaring Moon, while might seem bad at the surface, is actually quite decently good. Boost your attack allows to have more power when combined with Dragon Dance. Access to a strong knockoff as well as coverage and Earthquake, which allows it to break through Magina. A decent defensive typing allows it to come in into choice locked mons like Mewtwo and make them setup fodder. Chi-Power is kind of the same as Zacian. Fast, strong, Swords Dance, and good ability. However, Chi-Power is much frailer than Zacian, meaning it's hard to set up. An advantage that Chi-Power holds, however, is good priority, meaning it can beat other priority as well as function as a revenge killer. Terapagos is also a good abuser. As one of the few rapid spinners, it can make issues like the opposing T-Spikes, which can put your sweepers on a timer, and Sticky Web, which can greatly widen the potential revenge killers for your sweepers. Less impactful while removing the respective hazards. Terapagos can be a great asset with its breaking power with Calm Mind and a very strong signature move. As for Web's teams, Nasty Plot Chi is an amazing abuser of said webs, since webs mitigate Chi's middling speed. Annihilate is also great as it not only gives you a store killer but an amazing spin blocker. There are, of course, many Pokemon I missed out on, but in my experience, these are the best HO abusers in the tier.
Before I get into the captures to HO, I would like to give a shout out to this channel. As one of these people in this channel helped me make a script for this video and a lot of my other videos, including my most popular video. Hyperoffense has some issues with an all-tier play, an issue made even worse in Uber ZU. This stems from the fragile nature of this team, so here are other team archetypes that can potentially dismantle HO cores. Stall or strong defensive cores are good counters, especially when they have disruption. Haste, Toxapex, Dragon Tail or Roar Giratina, and Taunt Arceus are excellent at stopping said Pokemon, which makes HO very painful to play. Although to be fair, Taunt Annihilate could be functional as a stall counter on HO, but Annihilate is a bit niche. The other major counter to HO are Mon is able to revenge its sweepers. This counter is pretty self-explanatory. It's a lot more difficult to maintain your overwhelming offense, which you rely on to break through teams, but as soon as you make progress, they can send a revenge killer and halt your sweep, either forcing you out or most likely collecting the KO on your sweeper. There is one key attribute that allows these revenge killers to function in their role as a counter to revenge sweepers: speed. Sweepers are often relatively frail mons, as they need to fully spec into offense if they want the best chances of breaking through a team. This forces on them to rely on outrunning opponents if they wish to sleep, as their frailty prevents them from taking hits in any real capacity. This means that if a mon able to disrupt them can move first, they are extremely vulnerable, which is what revenge killers capitalize on. Through either innate speed in mons that you're lucky, artificial speed gained from Choice Scarf as done from Landorus and Ditto, or through foregoing speed entirely as done by mons like Palfin, revenge killers cease to get the jump on HO sweepers, allowing them to perform in their role as effective blocks to a present of the sweepers present on HO teams, greatly aiding their team's ability to halt the relentless offense of HO.